Today's little project is to turn this piece of wood into a private sign to put on a gate. And what I'm hoping is to be able to put it this way up and use this front face and then scribe into this face here. I've just got to make it a bit thinner and give myself a little bit more of a flat edge on that side. Now if you can hold a jigsaw, you can pretty much cut freehand with a bandsaw. They're a nice piece of kit, a bandsaw, because the blade pushes downwards, so the wood is always getting pushed down. And just as long as you're not doing really thin pieces that can then slide down and trap the blade, and you keep your fingers always away from the blade by using a push stick and working safely around the blade, this is a heck of a lot safer than using the table saw. Right, so what we've done, I've got a marker board at the back there, and just as long as it doesn't move anywhere, it's perfect. So I've clamped it down onto my multi-table, and then this is the piece of wood which I've got a dog on this side, and then I've put a wedge in on this side which has now held it perfectly steady. And on the piece of wood I've given myself a reference line where I would like straight to be and the starting point of the word private. We're going to be using the Shaper Origin tool today, which is actually in the sister company of Festool. And what we've got in there, we've got a router bit which is just for lettering. So what we're going to do is scan in a new work area, and this will scan the piece of wood that we're also doing. So we press the green button on the handle to start the scan, and all we do is just move this around, and then I press the green button to finish, and then it updates the workspace area. So we're in design mode at the moment, and we're just going to pop over to create and then text basic. And then all I've got to do is just type in the word that I want. And hit done. Now we can see here now that if I have it 3 inches long, my piece of wood's not going to be long enough. Two inches long was still not long enough. Now 40mm will fit the piece of wood perfectly. And then you can position it, so I've got my, I don't know if it shows up, I've got my pencil line, and then you can position where you want the word private. I might actually go down to 35mm, just so I'm not quite so tight on those ends. So this is where we want the lettering to be on the piece of wood, so we could press the green button on the handle, and now we can start carving out the letters. So now we go down to cut, and there's a blue dot. Oh, we're going to have to move the camera slightly because you can't see it. There's a blue dot just here, and that is where the origin wants me to start. And then there's marching ants which show me the direction to travel with the cutter. We end up with is the word private scribed out on the piece of wood. These two errors here were because I actually had the depth still set at 10mm instead of 2mm, but they'll be fine because they're just going on my gate.